It's set in the Elden Ring
Is
world,
it
but
like
it's
a sequel?
completely different. No, it's a standalone game for itself. It's a roguelike game.
Why would it be a standalone with the same name?
It's called Night Rain. It's not the same. It's Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Why didn't they just name it something else?
They did. It's called Night Rain.
But it's also called Elden Ring.
It's called
That
Elden
to
Ring
me
Night
says
Rain.
Sequel.
No, it's called Elden Ring Night Rain.
Sounds like a sequel.
It's not a sequel. It's a standalone game with set in the Elden Ring universe. You don't even fight the same bosses.
Can be standalone.
I understood, but this is not a sequel to Elden Ring. It's not a secret. It's not Elden Ring 2. Don't do this. Did you not learn last time? What's going on, everybody? It's me, Delacroix.
I'm not curious.
And welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Gamers. Just a few seconds ago, Mad was saying she has a very look she's trying to go for.
Yeah.
But she's very self-conscious
I'm
about
almost out of my
her
foundation,
paleness.
so I did powder today, and I feel like I just look really pale. So I'm eventually gonna have to splurge for the foundation, and I'm upset. So.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a girl. I don't have to deal with that stuff.
Stuff's so expensive, dude. I try to only buy it once a year now. It's why I very carefully wear it.
Yeah, because they know you guys will freaking pay all that money for stuff made overseas in unsanitary conditions and sell it to. I
get natural products, thank you, but okay.
Natural products or natural? How is it natural?
It's made out of like fruit and shit stuff.
It's made out of fruit and shit.
Yeah, fruit and stuff.
Like
for
what
the
kind of fruit?
YouTube-friendly algorithm stuff.
What kind of fruit is it? It makes you look a little brown. You put like actual cocoa beans on you, bro?
I don't know, probably.
I'm tired of you, man. This is
tired of you.
This past weekend, I'm coming back from PAX, which was it was a.
That sounds
right. It was good.
Happy.
No. I had a good time. I went with Duty Beard. We hung out. We shot some footage for like this thing he wanted to do that I was like, I promised him I'll do after losing a bet. Newsies. You ever heard of Newsies? It's like a Disney musical or something. I don't know. But we dressed up like old timey, like 1950s, and went around asking people, like interviewing people, asking them like silly questions and stuff, and like walking them on the PAX floor, screaming extra, extra, read all about it, and they're saying like nonsense.
Okay.
So it was a lot of that. Got to play some games. I love with PAX, like going as PAX, especially as a content creator, and like game devs want you to play the games, and they actually care about your feedback and talk to you, and like ask you like, what do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And that's like, I think that's the best part of like going to PAX and being able to play some of these like games early on, because the developers are there and they actually care about what you're saying to them. So it was really cool. It was really cool. You should go one year. You should go.
Someday,
and,
maybe.
It's Boston. Get some lobster rolls, some clam chowder.
Yeah, I've only been to Boston once, and I like literally ran through it. So I would like to go again at some point.
What do you mean you ran through Boston? What'd you do?
It was.
Was it a marathon?
No. Well, that does sound like something I would do, but no, no, it wasn't a marathon. And that's like the marathon too. So actually, it's funny you mentioned that. No, it was in high school, and we like stopped in a bunch of different places. It's called the New England tour. They took us on this big learning tour, which was cool. And it was one of the coolest things I did in high school. But different cities, we did different stuff. And for some reason in Boston, it was like an adventure hunt type of thing. Like one of those game show things where, what are those even called? I forget the names for all those shows, but it's like the travel shows. You go around and you like scavenger hunt. Did that, but like for learning. So I was literally running through the city because you know how competitive I am. So.
All right. Well, you should go. I think
like
if we did like
the days of smartphones, so we were like calling people to have them Google stuff for us.
You should go, dude. Try to come to PAX next year. If you go to PAX next year, I'll go, and we'll go as content creators. So we get like to the.
Well, cross your fingers that something works for me, so that I have some money.
Fingers crossed for Matt, because
as soon as I have money, I will go to whatever conference, whenever. But I need some money.
Yes, yes, and hopefully by then, like our YouTube is like popping.
That'd be awesome.
Because
if this is popping, we can go to all of them. We'll go on this time.
Yeah. So speaking of like things that's popping right now, there's a TikTok challenge right now causing computers to pop, and these kids, kids and their stupid TikTok challenges. There's a challenge called the Chromebook challenge. And what it is that these kids at school, because in schools give laptops now. When I was going to school, they didn't give me no laptop. We were lucky we got a computer room. But a lot of schools give kids laptops, and what they're doing is taking like paper clips and stuff and sticking it in the USB port of the Chromebook, causing it to spark and causing fires. And this most recently there was a kids had to be evacuated from the school because one of the batteries
We
caught
should
fire.
shut down the schools. Honestly, they're not working.
What? What? What'd you say?
We should shut down the schools. They're clearly not working. These kids are dumb
What do you mean
as
they
shit.
shut down the school?
Shut them down. They're not working. Yeah,
They
these
are
schools,
working. It's
These
just
kids don't deserve an education. Why would you
wow,
do that?
wow.
Why would you
What
do
is this?
that?
What do you? Do you have a red hat that I should know about? Jesus Christ! What
Like,
was that? Should like shut them down?
Shut them down. Because, like, seriously, how dumb do you have to be to do that? Like, legitimately. I don't care what. Like, a 3-year-old knows better than that. Like, what are they doing?
Listen, I agree with you because why would you stick anything metal into something that generates
Monkeys know better
energy?
than that. You know what I mean? Like, dolphins probably know better than to do that because they're smart animals.
So-
you know what I mean? Like,
I know. I get. You. I got
Yeah.
the joke. I get
Okay,
it. It didn't go over my head. Okay. Jeez. It is kind of weird that every time you hear about TikTok, it's nothing good ever. It's never anything good about a TikTok challenge, and this is why I feel like this new president wanted to ban TikTok. This is why I feel he wanted to ban it.
listen, I'm
Or
not about
the other
censorship.
portion.
I know I've like at times been very anti some things on this channel, but like I've generally gotten to a point where I'm like anti censorship as much as possible. But I can understand where someone's coming from in saying like, yeah, TikTok's a cesspool, get rid of it. But I think that it should exist, even though I hate it, and it's a cesspool. It just should.
It has
because
its
people
pros
want
and
it.
cons.
People want it, they should have it. Who am I to say? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But nothing good. It's like nothing good happens after midnight. Like that's TikTok. Nothing good happens on TikTok. It's just a cesspool of nonsense.
It depends who you ask. There's a lot of things that happen good after midnight.
I agree, but and so there, depending on who you ask, I'm sure there's people who think there are good things happening on TikTok. You know?
Yeah, there are good things on TikTok. There's like valuable information that you can get depending on the source. But half the time with TikTok,
I feel like you can find that information more easily and more like backed up anywhere else.
I agreed. Because with TikTok, it's like, especially when it comes to the political side of TikTok, there's always like two sides. And it's like, there's certain people who get paid just to talk trash about the other side.
The fact that anybody would get their political information from social media as like an actual source is absurd.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, what about some of those political like heads on social media that actually like talk about like things that's going on? Like, I can't
Everybody
name any.
has an agenda. Everyone.
True.
I'm not
true.
trusting anybody. It's got to be like mass quantities of information with different stuff backed up. The amount of research it takes is just usually not worth it, and I don't trust anybody. So
All right. So,
Yeah.
so do you not? Would you listen to those people and be like, okay, I'm gonna make my own choice and like dive deeper?
if I
So
really,
if
if I really wanted to know, I would just do nonstop research 24/7 because that's the only way you'd be able to be educated on it, on anything.
Well, because
'Cause
you
they're
have a
all lying
brain.
to
Most
you.
people
like 90% of these people are lying to you. So
agreed. Most people would take that as law, though. Some people do take that as law. I remember there's this whole thing that happened with, especially during the election. People coming out saying like, yeah, this party did pay me to talk about these topics. Like I got paid to talk about these topics, and then bash the other side.
Yeah.
So people getting paid about stuff.
pretty
These
much
people
the
wouldn't
only
really
thing
like.
I would watch in relation to politics is like certain types of debates and critical thinkers, because then I can see somebody's logic and see the two
Yeah.
sides of the logic and then kind of make decisions from there in what I would want to research and source. But like that's pretty much the only way I want to see the information presented, is to see both sides at any given time. I don't think that being presented just an informational topic is ever going to be unbiased enough to even approach.
I feel a lot of times TikTok is like guerrilla journalism at
Yeah.
times, because it's like everybody's a journalist on TikTok.
I
It
feel
seems
like-
nowadays.
I feel like it sounds like such a good thing on paper because I love the idea of things being decentralized, and then now seeing it, I
Yeah.
just think it's such a cesspool. And that's the thing about short form. It's like long form, if you're going to present a topic, you're going to have a lot more information that you're presenting with it. But short form, like everything is taken out of context always. There's no context because it's so short. So I just don't think anything good can come of that little context.
It's like when I love those TikToks that's like, obviously it's fake, but so many people believe it. It's like they always go, they have that eerie music, like, you won't believe these facts. And like they play some old dumb video that you could tell is AI voice. And it's like they're like pointing like that, like, and it's like it's like this is not real.
And
Like
how
this
are
is
they?
not facts.
How are
Like,
people
but
watching that?
because
Like
it's
the person isn't even doing anything. They're just like,
yeah, they're just pointing up and like shaking their head like,
it's just.
and then people believe it.
And so
People
like
believe in it.
people say that and they're like, oh yeah, that's somebody who's making valuable content. It's like that's an influencer. That's absolute and utter just nonsense. They're not adding anything to society. It's pure nonsense. I don't think like people should be like, the thing is it should be allowed because I don't want to censor it, but the fact that people are engaging with that is the sad part. Like I said, I don't disrespect the grifters, to be honest, because they're making their money from it and people are watching it. I blame the people watching it. That's why I don't engage
It's
with
like-
it, because I don't want to be
it's
part
like-
of the blame.
When people posted pictures of like a black samurai family during the feudal age of Japan, and it was like, see, this is real. They will tell you that black people was in Japan and everything. And it's like cameras weren't invented till like later after that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you dumb? But because it was on TikTok and because it was an AI rendered
real life documentary
picture,
we made back in the day.
and then like, yo, you stupid, like cameras didn't come around till like way later after feudal times in Japan. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's just so funny. I like the ones with
Can't
about
be
how
mad at
black
the
people came from
grifters.
space.
Can't be
I like
mad
the-
at the grifters, man. That's a thing.
Yes,
That
we came
black
from outer
people came
space.
from space.
We was kings. We came from outer space, and the pyramids were our spaceships and everything.
Literally,
And
well,
we
technically,
created
we're in
mankind.
space. Technically, like Earth is in space, and black people, we think we're probably first. So
We were. I
So-
created you.
yeah, so technically they're right because this is space.
What?
We're
I'm
in
not.
space.
My head.
We're in
You made my
space
brain
right now. I
itch.
don't know if you knew. We're part
So
of the universe.
because the Earth floats in space. I'm sorry. Explain that again, like to me, like I'm 5.
We're in space.
Slower.
And black
Okay,
people were
Earth is in
first.
space.
So technically, yeah, you came. I didn't come from space because I came from black people, and black people came from space.
Yeah, because I create. Anyway, I gotta move on because my brain is itching. Like, oh my god! Like, you ever see? People ever tell you something like your brain? You get like a weird pain right there.
Usually when I'm tired is when that happens. It's like
No,
the-
I get that a lot when people talk, and it gets very like weird and like
So thinking hurts. Is that what I'm hearing?
thinking hurts my head. I don't like to think. I like to do less thinking
You like
as
to
possible. That's why
scroll TikTok so that you can learn about the important
I don't
things
have
that stick
TikTok.
into your
I don't have
computer.
TikTok on my phone. I don't have TikTok at all. I do not have TikTok.
Very good.
That's the one app I don't have. I don't have Instagram or TikTok or Facebook.
All for the best.
I'm like a ghost.
All for the best.
I remember.
Yeah,
remember
no,
I told
somebody
you.
was I think people were judging me the other day. I think twice recently people have judged me for not having it. Like in India when
Having
people were
what,
talking, they're
Facebook?
like just all of them. I'm not on any social media really, like other than my public persona on like the streaming platforms and stuff and Twitter. Like I have an Instagram, but I haven't used it in ages. I like put on some stories saying like, hey, here's what I'm up to recently, but that's about it. Just to like notify people when I
so
have a
you-
big announcement. But
You're not there constantly posting pictures of you running or doing things like I'm at the farmers market.
no,
I'm buying coffee.
I tried. I did for a little while. Like back when I first started content, I was still doing more of like the personal stuff too. So it was like
Yeah.
a switch to that. Instead of the personal content, I was just putting it all in there. But eventually I got really over it and I wanted to create like real actual content with a foundation and not just like, here's my day. So I stopped. I just think it's stupid. I just think it's a waste of time to like post that kind of stuff. I want to post stuff that I think is meaningful in some way.
You should do a day in the life with Mad. Like set up your camera. Have you pretended to wake up out of bed with your makeup all ready and everything, your hair done,
I'll do
and
one
then
just
go
for
in
you
and set up
one
your
day.
computer?
Just,
Do
just
one,
for you
please
day.
do
Like,
one. Please do
a
one.
day in the life of a full-time content creator. What does she do?
I put on a big sweater so I don't have anybody say I'm showing my body to get views. I
And
make
then
sure
after I put on my
I-
big sweater.
I make sure my makeup is just right so I don't look like a hideous witch. But you know what? I look
This is
pretty
the
at
only time I've worn.
times.
Well, no, I lied. I wore makeup. I think 2 or 3 days ago when I recorded a bunch of episodes for my other channel. So I lied. I've worn makeup twice this week.
Is that like a good or bad thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I only wear it when I'm recording or sometimes on stream. That's it.
But you don't need it, dude. Like, I don't know why you wear it. You're fine without it.
Because it's a social norm. So
because society has done this to her. It programmed you.
Yeah, no, it's like a point system. It just adds a couple points. If somebody clicks on my video, it's just they're not going to click
points.
on
What
if
points?
I'm wearing makeup.
How many points do you get with
everything's
makeup?
Everything's a game, dude. Adds points.
How many points does makeup give you?
Couple.
To charisma. Where does it go to charisma or like?
Probably charisma or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of sources and getting things from reliable sources other than TikTok, I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, but Bloomberg's Jason Schneerner, I don't know how to say that, but he predicted the delay of GTA 6, as we all did, because Rockstar doesn't give games on anytime Rockstar says the game's coming out this year, it's actually next year.
Well, that's what you said. I haven't been part of gaming culture for very long. I've been in gaming forever, but I wasn't part of the culture, and so I didn't know that. I just have seen the trends over the last few years, and I didn't think it would, because based on trailers and stuff, I'm like, there's not enough out for them to be coming out this year.
Exactly. Well, he's predicting that there's no guarantee for the May 6, 2026 is a sure thing, and I agree with him. I don't think we're gonna get it in May 2026. We're going to get it probably in 2026, but not May.
I don't think that just because somebody predicted it being delayed correctly once, makes any sort of necessary trust there. And I think I know who it is, and I would maybe generally put some stock in it. But just because somebody predicts something correctly, you can predict, I could predict 50 things right now. And if I'm right about one of them, I could be like, look, I was right. And then I'd be like, now you have to trust me. That's not how it works. You've got to look at the ratio.
With the gaming industry, everything's like chess. Everything's like chess with the game industry, because you don't want to release your games around the same time as other games.
Yeah.
So a lot of game companies, when they heard Rockstar was coming out with a game in this month or whatever, they kind of pushed their games further back because they didn't want to deal with that. So for perfect example, Titanfall 2.
I think I'd want to come out released around this. If I were coming out with a game next year, I would want it to be before May.
Yeah, but you don't want to be. You don't always want games in the first quarter of the year. You want it the third or second.
Yeah, you want those holiday sales, but at the same time, if you do quarter 3 or 4. But if I were going up against the game of the decade, I would want it before that game comes out.
Agreed. So I agreed. So with what game was it? So Titanfall 2 came out around the same time, I believe, as one of the Battlefield games. And Titanfall 2 didn't sell very well. Because, again, it came out with another game. It came out with around the same time as another big hitter game. So the sales of Titanfall 2 didn't do too well. But the game was, really good. There's a good story, good gameplay, everything. But, again, it was overshadowed by Battlefield. I believe Battlefield came out around the same time of it. So, a lot of companies like to do is, stagger their release dates. And I don't really see. I agree. I don't see May 2026 being the release for GTA, because we still gonna see some more games come out, and a lot of games are gonna try to set their dates around May, around second quarter. So because around May, the months of June, July, August are pretty much dead for freaking games. Anybody could agree. I think the only thing we're getting good coming out in June is Death Stranding 2. So I can see them maybe pushing the game back to probably September maybe, because I don't see that game being a summer game, a summer release game. I don't see it at all. Okay. It'll be good to come out for the summer because people are off and they can play it.
Yeah.
But I see it during as a winter game, a spring winter game. Everybody's going back to school.
I can see that too, just based on the aesthetic. But you've got the beginning of the year, maybe April, March and April, people start to be pretty depressed because of you've come off the holidays, you've started back in your year, and now you're well, it's a little while till summer if you don't live, in Florida. And So people are sad. So March, April can do all right, right? And then you get into summer, people are on vacation. If they're like kids, obviously, then they can play. But the rest of us, it's not really any different. And then you've got, like you said, the holidays are good. But if it's October and you're not a spooky game, you're probably gonna have issues. So it's just like it's like all of these different things. But
Yeah, and especially I think Rockstar wants to push that $100 game
yeah, what you're talking
stuff.
about.
I think they really want to push that $100 game.
I mean, I see it as a summer game. To be fair,
I don't.
really
I don't. Because you think during the summer, who wants to stay inside? Besides people who are cave trolls. But like, who wants to really stay home all summer and play video games?
Because it's like set in Miami, though. Like I thought you were talking about Death Stranding for a second. So Death Stranding feels like more of a winter game because of like the aesthetic, but like GTA feels like a summer game because of the aesthetic. Like especially this one because it's in Miami. Because people are gonna like go outside in the game and be like, "Oh my gosh, look, it's Miami," and then they're gonna be like, "Now I want to go outside," and they'll do both. That's what I used to do, like with
That's dumb.
That's like
dumb.
with Assassin's Creed
That's
4.
stupid.
So I had like the whole summer where I was like really chilling. That summer, it was the summer before I went to grad school. And so I'd finished, I had all my ducks in a row. And I was just staying at my parents' for a couple months until I moved. And I had nothing except like an internship that I was doing maybe like 10, 15 hours a week. So I would just hang out by the pool and play Assassin's Creed 4 for the most part. And so I was just like, going outside and running around. I was running back then. So I'd play in the game and like be swimming in the water and running around things. And I'd go do it in real life and come back.
Well, I can't see that happening with this game. I really feel they're gonna release the game when people go back to school because people are more inclined to be indoors instead of summer because summer everybody wants to be outdoors more. I don't. For Death Stranding to come out in June,
data to see if like do not a lot of big games generally come out in summer? I haven't like paid a ton of attention.
What's that?
Do not a lot of big games generally come out in summer? I haven't like
no. Let's look at summer games 2025.
Last of Us came out the end of July, I believe. Last of Us 2. But of course that doesn't really matter because it's a 2020 game, so it's like a totally different situation.
Yeah, so we just got Doom Dark Ages, right? So Doom Dark Ages came out today.
Okay.
At the end of the month we got Elden Ring Night Reign, which is a whole different game.
Is it a new game or is it a DLC?
It's a whole game. It's a whole new game. It's a completely different game. Completely different. It's set in the Elden Ring world, but it's completely different. No, it's a standalone game for itself. It's a roguelike game.
Why would it be a standalone with the same name?
It's called Night Reign. It's not the same. It's called Elden Ring Night Reign.
That's like that's like saying
it's a dedicated
Creed
multiplayer
Unity,
game,
but it's not a sequel.
It's not a sequel. It's Elden Ring Night Reign. It's a dedicated roguelike multiplayer game.
Why didn't they just name it something else?
They did. It's called Night Reign.
But it's also called Elden Ring.
It's called Elden Ring Night Reign.
Sequel.
No, it's called Elden Ring Night Reign.
Sounds like a sequel.
It's not a sequel. It's a standalone game set in the Elden Ring universe. You never fight the same bosses.
Can be standalone.
I understood, but this is not a sequel to Elden Ring. It's not a sequel. It's not Elden Ring 2.
Sounds like it is. Because it has Elden Ring in the
It's
name.
not Elden Ring 2. It's Elden Ring Night Reign. But you call it Night Reign. Nobody's calling it Elden Ring Night Reign.
Games? Do you not call them sequels? Zelda games? Do you not call them sequels?
Yes, because it goes Mario 1, 2, 3, 4, Mario Superstar. Those are all sequels.
You just named one that wasn't a number. There's plenty of Mario
Okay,
games
but
that are
those
not
all
a number. Mario
Superstar
Odyssey,
is a whole different.
Mario 64 is technically not like a number.
It's but 64 is its own game. It's a standalone game, right?
So there's like I would.
But
call
it's
them
not a
all
sequel.
Sequels,
But wait.
They're all part of one franchise.
Are we are we having a debate right now? Are we doing another debate? Don't do this. Did you not learn last time? What from me?
No,
I beat you.
No, you just manipulate.
I didn't manipulate you. I didn't manipulate you.
Than actually, you manipulate with questions rather than proving your point, which is a totally different thing.
I'm gonna prove my point right now.
All right.
Okay, you said Mario, right?
Yeah.
I keep saying Mario's. Mario, 1, 2, 3, right? Then you had
There's
Superstars.
a million more Marios than that.
Okay, I'm giving you
can pull them up.
just final examples. Okay, Mario Superstar is a continuation of 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know. I haven't played them.
Okay, It's its own standalone game.
But they're all part of the same. If they're part of the same franchise, they're sequels in my mind.
Yes, but they're their own standalone games.
Yeah, sequels can be standalone.
But wait, but Zelda.
All of the Assassin's Creed games are standalone, but they're sequels.
No. See, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 were all I count those as sequels because they still had the same guy in the Animus.
But they're all standalone. You don't have to play the others to get it.
But they continue his story though.
Wait, you'd be really confused. Like Last of Us, if you just played 2, you'd be like, I don't get it. I don't really get why everybody's so sad. You know, like, you know what I mean? You'd be so confused. Like,
but wait, with what game we talk about? You messed me up. You tripped me up. Stop tripping me up.
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, right? Because you're Assassin's Creed nut job.
But that's not how it works. It's Assassin's Creed 1 is a totally no. Assassin's Creed 1 is Altair. You're talking about Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood and Revelations, and those don't have numbers.
No, wait. Hold on. I'm not talking. I didn't go there. See, now you're changing the subject. Now you're trying to change it to make your point stand.
No, because you're trying to. Because you literally said 1, 2, and 3 are the same character. That's what you said. I'm telling you, it's not.
No, stop. Listen to what I'm saying. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 is the same character in the Animus. The guy that's captured. What's his name? The guy that's going through the lives.
Yeah, Desmond, but he also has Brotherhood and Revelations.
Okay, so is those a continuations of his story, of Desmond's story? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, now after Desmond gets
but you're asking questions and trying to trap me because you're trying to say A,
I'm not trapping you. I'm not trapping you.
Always equals B. This is what you do. That's not how it works. You have to prove your point, not disprove mine. That's not how it works.
I'm proving my point.
You don't give one example that disproves mine and then say you're right. That's not how it works.
I'm not. Wait, but no.
Prove your point.
I'm proving my. I'm trying to. I'm using these as examples.
You're not. I know where you're going. That's not. That's not going to work.
That's not going anywhere.
I want you to prove that Mario isn't a sequel or Zelda isn't a sequel. I don't care about Assassin's Creed because that's not going to prove your point.
Which Mario though? Because there's multiple Mario games. There's multiple ones.
They're franchise. They're a whole franchise, so I call them all sequels.
Okay, I can tell you why they're not sequels because it's different stories. It's different stories and different things going on.
It's all sequel. It's all one franchise.
It's not a sequel. I don't consider it to be a sequel. It's one franchise. Yes, we can agree. It's one franchise. The Mario franchise, right?
I think that everything within a franchise after the first one is a sequel.
That's crazy. That's wild.
That's what I consider it. Because it's all related. It's sequentially after the one that came.
It's not always sequentially because the thing is, when you use the examples like Zelda,
talking about chronologically, sequentially, as in it was released after the first game, and it has a continuation within the franchise.
Okay, so here's another example. Devil May Cry, right? Then there's DMC. DMC is the reimagining of it. Does that count as a sequel?
Like a remake,
If it's a reimagining. If it's a reimagining.
Is that like even more than a remake? So,
it's just reimagining.
I remember what you're talking about. Like I feel like there was a Final Fantasy something that they did that with recently.
So they did Final Fantasy.
I would say yes. I would say that anything that's within a franchise is a sequel. What else would you call that?
That's because, but it doesn't fall in a sequel because the thing is, I count sequels of continuing a story.
Well, what would you
based
call the
off of certain characters? Night Rain?
What would you call like all of the Mario games within a franchise? Like
the
how
Mario
would you relate them together? Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, Mario 1, 2, 3. Like what would you call those together? Because I would call them sequels.
They're standalone games set in the universe.
You're gonna say that whole mouthful every time you talk about them. I'm just gonna call them a sequel.
Okay.
They need a word if it's not sequel, and I'm going to call them a sequel. A sequel is just something that comes after. It came after, within the same world.
Yeah, but it's not following the set story. It's not following. It doesn't continue the story.
You know what I would call that? A series. That's different than a sequel. So if it's like Last of Us 1, 2, and hopefully 3, that's a sequel.
But it's a sequel though.
Assassin's Creed, I also call it a series because there is continuity through like an overarching story.
But I would say that Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, and then all the brothers of things are a sequel continuing Desmond's stories. Then you have the standalone stories that continue the franchise, right?
Well, there's an overarching story that isn't just Desmond that does combine all of them.
Yeah, because it becomes all back of the apple.
But what I'm saying is I don't consider Mario games a series, but I do consider them a franchise where everything after the first one is a sequel.
Okay. Well, that's wrong. That's crazy. you're speaking nonsense. I disagree with you 100%
Okay.
on that. So I win again.
That's not how that works. Just because you disagree doesn't mean you win. Excuse me.
Okay, so how about this? How about
You
this?
never
Okay,
disproved me.
I did disprove you because
No, you
I
didn't.
did
You
disprove
just disagreed with me. There's a difference.
No.
You would have
Because
to pull up another source.
you
are not a
literally
source.
just said, dude. You literally just said that. Okay, you want to use it? You want to use another source? You want to use another source with? Okay, in the Mario Kart series, is that with a sequel? Or those sequels? Yes, or franchises, or what do you call it?
It's a sequel with multiple franchises inside.
Elden Ring, Night Rain is.
It's 100%. I'm looking that
No.
up. It's 100% a sequel. Going back to our original question.
Okay, so Elden Ring, Night Rain is its own standalone game. It's not a sequel to Elden Ring. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are sequels. But games like Demon Souls and Elden Ring are supposedly set in the same world of everything. So all the Dark Souls games supposedly linked into 1, 2, and 3. And then Elden Ring is supposed to be the precursor of the Soul series, right?
Okay, but if it has the same name, it should be a sequel. Period. Just name it something
No.
else. Why would you not name it something else?
Okay, so
What-
Dark Souls.
Argue why that's even a good idea to have it as the same
What?
name if it's not a sequel. Because then people are going to
It's
think it's a sequel.
because it's its own standalone game set in that word's universe.
They could name it something
It's-
else. Why
They
would they not
did.
name
It's
it
called
something
Night
else?
Rain. It's
But
called
it has
Night
Elden
Rain. It's
Ring in
known
the
as
front,
Night.
So it's named
Yes.
the same thing.
Because it's set in the world of Elden Ring. Set in the world of Elden Ring. Is you never heard the game set in the world of?
Then it could have its own name if it's standalone. I stand by that. If it has the same name, it's a sequel. 100%.
So just because it's the same. So
Yes.
okay. So here's a perfect. Okay, here we go. So the John Wick movies, right?
I haven't seen them, but sure.
Okay, there's a new one called Ballerina.
Okay.
It's set in the John Wick universe.
Okay.
Is that? It doesn't say John Wick. It says John Wick universe. Send the John Wick from the John Wick universe. Ballerina. Is that a sequel to John Wick?
This is the opposite type of scenario. You're saying if B equals A, then A equals B. That's not how that works.
No, but
It's
no.
It's an opposite scenario because
It's
it's
called
just called
Ballerina.
That's what they
But
should have
it's
done
set in-
here. That's what they should have done
But
here.
it's set in the John Wick universe,
Right,
and John Wick is
they
in the
could've-
movie.
So it doesn't have John Wick in the front?
John Wick is in it. It says John Wick
No.
universe.
Does it say John Wick
Okay,
Ballerina
hold on,
or
I
is
gotta
it called
see.
Ballerina? Because
Hold
Ballerina,
on,
good.
hold on.
If it has John Wick in the front, it's a sequel. If it doesn't, then it's in the universe. That's how it works.
It's called. What's it called? It's called From the World of John Wick Ballerina.
Is that the full name?
But-
or is it just Ballerina?
Yes. It says From the World of John Wick Ballerina.
Then that's a sequel.
Ballerina
because
is
it has
big.
John Wick in the title.
No.
If it has John Wick in the title,
See?
it's a sequel.
Dude, dude, you're using that very small aspect of it.
If it has it in the
And
title,
saying
it's a sequel.
it says From the World of John Wick.
You could literally name it something else.
But it's known as what? Ballerina. Because when you look at the title of it, From the World of John Wick is small and it says Ballerina. And when everybody watches the movie, they say, oh, I want to see Ballerina, right? When I go play a game with somebody and say, yo, you want to play Night Rain? They know that I'm talking about Night Rain. I'm not going to say, if I say, you want to play Elden Ring? They're going to go Elden Ring. You get what I'm saying?
That doesn't prove your
So
point. That doesn't prove
it does
your point.
prove my point. It
The
does prove my
shorthand
point.
doesn't
If
prove your
it's
point. If we go on that tangent, that's gonna be a whole other tangent.
Dude,
What you call it by its shorthand name is the real identity of the game. That's
yes, it
absurd.
is.
That's
yes,
absurd.
dude. Yes, it is.
That's
How?
absurd.
How?
What do you mean how?
How?
You're just gonna go around. Okay, so you're just gonna start renaming everything, and that's
I'm not
its new
renaming
identity?
anything. I'm going based off of what the title is.
You're renaming it. That's not the full
I'm not
title.
renaming it,
You're
no.
You're just going by shorthand only.
Dude,
start
so you want
calling-
me to say? Go ahead.
If I
You
start
use an
calling
example.
Blasphemous TLOU only ever, I'm just.
What's
I've
that?
now renamed it. Now that's.
I mean,
what-
Last of
now
Us
it's its
did get
identity.
renamed
Now it's
because
its
there's Last
identity.
of.
It did get
but wait,
renamed, yeah. But
it's called
different-
Last
because
of
it's
Us-
a different version. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but
The
it's
Last of Us Remastered doesn't still exist. Part 1 is just the remake.
but what's remade is the same story, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Graphics and AI.
so
The AI is actually very different
okay,
behavior, and
so
they did a whole UI overhaul to match too.
so if I say I'm playing The Last of Us, and I go I'm playing The Last of Us 1, am I playing two different games?
You would have to label which one you're playing. Yeah.
So I have to label which one I'm playing, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm still playing The Last of Us, right?
Yes.
I'm still playing The Last of Us, the
Correct.
first game in the
You're
series.
still playing The Last of Us, so you're proving my point, like John Wick.
So
Ballerina.
wait, hold on. So no.
Yes, you just proved
So-
my point.
But you said The Last of Us 1, which is a different game, this is a remake, separates it from The Last of Us.
They're all sequels, though.
So Last of Us 1 is a sequel to Last of Us.
Yes.
That is
Came
the
after.
dumbest thing ever.
It came after.
No. Matt, please. You're speaking
And
craziness.
if you really
I don't
want to
know,
call a remake
did you-
remaster different, you
Do you
can,
have
but
your
it's a
coffee
sequel.
today? Wait, every remake is a sequel?
Yeah. It came after.
That's crazy.
It came
That is
after.
crazy.
If you don't want to
That
call
is
it, you
what-
don't have to.
No,
But I'm definitely
no.
not calling Night Rain
No.
not a sequel. Night Rain is 100% a sequel.
Okay, you're gonna die in this hill alone and cold. So
It's fine. Night Rain is a sequel. I will die on that hill. That is one. If
This
it
is-
has Elden Ring in the name, that is 100% a sequel. I don't care if people
Okay.
disagree with me about everything else I just said. There are very few people who can disagree with me on that. It is literally in the name Elden Ring.
Okay, so we're gonna come back to this. We're gonna leave this up to the viewers and comment on this because this is good.
Even
And-
if you disagree with me on everything else, I want you to tell me your honest opinion because Elden Ring Night Rain is 100% a sequel. It's in the same universe and it has the same name.
You know who's somebody I would disagree with you just like I disagree with Shroud because Shroud came out and said some nonsense that like he just like anime has no feelings or emotions. And I know you don't watch anime and stuff, but
You know what feeling and emotion
I
has?
highly
Horny. Horny.
No, not all anime has horny. That's the just because you watch like one or two animes or seen clips of animes that are very horny doesn't mean all anime is like that.
Mm,
Sometimes. So
yeah. See your little clarification there at the end.
Well, honestly, you've never watched an anime?
Not purposefully, other than I tried Death Note, but I can't watch shit with like the subtitles all day. I don't have time for all that. I put it in the background.
They have
I
an
need to be able
English
to hear
version
it.
of it. They have a dub. You know that, you dingy.
I'm not. It's just not. It doesn't match. I don't like it. I had
It
to
does
force,
match.
I had to force my way into Squid Games, dude. I had to force my way
No,
through it. Just like
the
there's
dub-
a lot of good like K dramas that I've like tried to watch. Like the Korean stuff is like better than Hollywood, but I can't do it. It's so hard.
Dude, there's literally a dub version of Death Note that is so good. Death Note dubbed, like or early anime dubbed,
Trust me,
is
I'd
amazing.
love to, but I can't deal with it, dude. They just,
I
need,
just
they
think-
just
I
need
just-
to make an English version. Just make like an American version of that concept.
Of what?
Death Note.
No, we
But
don't
not
need
the
it.
movie,
No.
because the movie was bad. Even though I do like that actress, that movie was terrible.
Yeah, but if people don't know who Shroud is like a big streamer who used to be in esports,
Did he
Cloud
just get-
Nine.
Oh no, wait, that's a
competitive.
different guy. Never mind. I thought he got canceled
Who?
recently.
Who?
No, that's the charity dude.
Oh,
who cheated
Dr.
on
Lupo.
chess. Yeah. No, I was combining
Yeah.
them in my brain. That's not it.
Yeah. So I guess so. Shroud said like he feels like it doesn't have any emotion and stuff. And he also used like Pixar movies as an example. I guess he's just come from the sense where like he doesn't feel like he can't feel emotions or like he relate to emotions if it's animated because it's not real.
That's how I
He says
generally
it's not
am.
real.
And that's been my argument with Last of Us when people are like, why would you want the same thing in the show? They're usually not asking, like actually asking, they're just being sarcastic. But like legitimately, my answer is because I like live action more than animated. If the animated version of something can make me cry, the live action could make me like just lay on the floor in a puddle of tears. You know what I mean? But like it hasn't. Well, that one episode did, but the rest of it is pretty garbage. So
Which episode? The episode 3 in season 1?
yeah.
That
Even and the thing is, I don't like it for like the actual story because it's basically a standalone. Speaking of standalones, has nothing to do with the rest of the story, but it's a beautiful story and it made me cry.
Yeah, and it gave us
Again.
more about the character. It gave us more about the character because everybody speculated that character was gay.
It wasn't a
But
speculation.
this-
He said that's my partner when he was like hanging, and then they had a
Yeah,
note
but
where it was
but
like,
the thing is, But the thing is, when people say partner,
Oh, okay.
back in those days,
Alright.
partner meant like this is
Uh-huh.
my partner.
Uh-huh.
I'm speaking from the sense of
Yeah.
like most
That's
people
just what,
think.
That's just what straight dudes wanted to think. That's just
No,
what,
that's the truth.
Just what
Wait,
the
wait,
red hat
stop.
wearers
We're not-
wanted it to say.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this, dude. So if my partner, if I'm a cop, this is my partner.
Yeah, if you're
right?
a cop.
That's my partner.
Yeah, if you're a cop.
But no, if we do,
Or if you're
okay,
like
wait,
in
Matt.
business with someone, sure.
So Matt, wait, Matt. So if it's me and you in the apocalypse, right? Me and you.
Yeah.
And I go, Matt is my partner.
Yeah, you're not calling me your partner just because we're hanging out in the apocalypse, man.
Yes, you are. Yes, I am. You're my partner. What the fuck? Mean. This is my partner.
We're just
We
hanging
have
out
been
in the
helping each other
apocalypse.
out.
That's not how that works.
So me, yes. So wait. You saying in the apocalypse you can't have partners?
I
You gotta
mean,
have like sexual partners?
If we've like signed a business contract or like,
Oh my god, you
or
like
we were
love you.
cops.
We're partners.
We were the law, maybe.
We're working together though. That's what partners mean. We work together.
Partner.
Oh my god, I can't stand you. I can't stand you. I swear. But anyway, I feel like I disagree with him because they are like I understand what he's saying. I get where he's coming from saying because it's not real people and stuff. The emotion's not there. But even with like animes and like anything animated, there is a lot of emotion in how it's portrayed. It still can make you feel something. Like in video games, like the first video game to ever like break me down to tears was Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. Like when I say break down to tears, like I had tears running down my eyes. Like and because it's a scene when Aerith gets fucking clapped by Sephiroth. And then another game that broke me down was Kingdom Hearts, the end of Kingdom Hearts. I cried like a baby when the game ended. Have you ever played the game that made you cry?
Yeah, Last of Us. I cry sometimes
That's it?
now for both of them, even though I play them this many times.
So you just sit on the screen and cry?
Yeah.
Like a woman?
Like a woman. Indeed I do. Indeed I do.
So is there any like animated movies stuff that made you cry?
Not really, because again, animated, it's really hard to get under my skin. I think it's only because with games you're like playing, you know, you're much more interactive in it, so it draws you in further.
Okay.
But I'm pretty much never gonna cry at animated, like just watching it, ever.
I
can't
don't think
of one
you.
time that animated has ever made me cry that I can think of.
But okay, you ever seen the movie Up?
No.
You ever saw Toy Story?
Yes, that definitely didn't make me cry.
What? Any of the Toy Stories? Did you see all the Toy Stories or just
I ever
one?
came to was probably like Lion King. You know, it's an emotional.
Lion King?
Probably.
The
Yeah, you know
Lion
when he's
King?
like there with his dad. Oh, that's sad, dude. That'll get
See,
you. That'll get you.
I hear you choking up
That's
right now
about-
thinking about it.
That's about as close as you're gonna get me. I probably have cried
Okay.
at that, but that's probably the only one. We probably found one now.
There's like a lot of animes that I've watched that are very emotional and like strong, especially like with One Piece. And for the longest, I was like, One Piece is a
like
lot.
in between the moans, or
I'm gonna slap you. I'm not watching hentai. What the hell? I'm not. Who's sitting there watching hentai with?
every single anime clip I've ever seen has just
But again, those are
and, like,
clips.
moans. It's
There's clips. Are there bouncing boobs? Yes, there's bouncing boobs. But when it comes to One Piece, like the story that's there, like it's. I see why One Piece is considered peak anime. So that One Piece has a lot of like good story, like really good story that grips you and captures you. And like there's been times that like I get choked up and everything. And yes, is there boobs in some of these animes? Yes, there's boobs. Because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why there's boobs in these animes. And
Okay.
this is where it comes from. They said this. The people who make anime and these video games, these JRPGs said this. We make a lot of these animes with the females with these clothes because we like to see actual women cosplay them.
yeah, because they're horny.
Yes, but
Yeah,
so
I'm not that audience. I don't need to see all that. I'm good.
you know
as a
you want
bi-
to see it.
No, even as a
You
bi,
wanna see
if
it.
I'm watching something for the story like that, and I'm not in like girls aren't as visual. Like we're not as visual of creatures.
Girls are visual. Shut up.
not as much as men. Like I'm not sitting there just trying to see boobs all day. I like boobs. I don't want to see them all day. I got stuff to do.
Okay, because you're busy. You're a busy woman. But there's women out there that probably see like nice boobs and like those are some nice titties and
But
stuff.
like
But then again, I don't
I
know.
feel like it just
I don't know.
detracts from storytelling. Like
Titties distract from storytelling?
yeah, you can tell a really good
No.
story without any sex involved. I don't think that any of that
You
is
can.
necessary.
You
And
can.
I think that it can detract from the core story. It's just a distraction. And so I don't find it necessary. And if people want it, like that's their prerogative. I know I used to say like get it all out, like porn should be banned. No, it's fine. Do whatever you want, but like it's not for me. Like I'm not going to watch it. I'm not the audience.
Well, I think you should give some animes a chance just because there's like some busty femme fatales in it and stuff. It shouldn't like take away from the story because even those women who have big boobs and stuff, they're strong as shit and everything. But again, I can agree with you. There are some animes that are very, very horny.
It's also
And
why I'm not
sometimes
really
there's
into
too
the
many-
JRPG world either. It's like girls are always that same aesthetic, and I just, you know, like
What's
I will
that
say
same
for me-
aesthetic?
For me as a woman, like it is really cool to play as just like a woman dressed in adventure clothes, like. You know, like even Tomb Raider, even though she's sometimes like a little bit skimpy, like she's in adventure clothes. You know what I mean? Like she's ready for an adventure. But like a lot of these girls are in like this like magical dress or whatever. Like you're not adventuring in a dress and heels, all right? You're
How
just
do you
not.
know? How do you know?
Because
Have you tried adventuring?
Yes.
Do
Probably
you?
accidentally flash the whole world. It's dangerous, man.
But do you?
And
Do
I've
you live in
definitely
a?
fallen in heels, so it's not fun.
Do you live in an isekai world?
A what?
What?
A what?
An isekai world.
A what?
Isekai.
No, I've never heard
See,
of that.
you don't
so
know.
No.
You don't know because you're not hip. You're not hip with the game. You're not hip with the anime, bro. You're not the anime life.
I don't want it.
You gotta be in it, bro. Come on.
I don't want it.
Anime life for life.
I'm good, dude. I'm good.
Dude, it was so dope. Speaking of anime and stuff, like in cosplaying, like PAX, there were people dressed up as like characters from Expedition 33. They were doing a very simple cosplay. They weren't doing like the whole Expedition cosplay, like of the outfits. There's an outfit you could get where you dress like a French mime. You know how French mimes look like? There's the black and white stripes with the red pants or something. And so you see people dressing up, walking around with that, with the beret and the baguette. They had actual baguette, like actual bread. I was like, oh, cool.
I'm gonna be honest.
And
I don't really
seen
get
a lot of.
as a nerd. That's not like the nerd culture I like generally understand that well. Like I cosplay for
What?
like when I'm playing a game, like because I think it's fun to like look like the character I'm playing in the game, and I think that's a fun thing to show off to the stream. But like I wouldn't ever really want to walk around and dress up. Like I just don't like.
Why?
I don't like dressing up. Like I only do it because I think it's kind of like a weird, interesting thing to do when you're playing a game and you look like the character. But like, there's no other time. Like dressing up is such an effort, and I just don't. I'd rather. wear
But
this.
wouldn't you like to go out? Let's go to a convention. You dress as your favorite character, and people are like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite character too," and like
No.
that whole camaraderie.
No.
So you never cosplay outside
Absolutely
or the
not.
inside, besides Halloween.
Even Halloween, I only did as a kid. I'm not dressing up as a. Well, I guess I've like done. No, that's not true. I guess I've dressed up for parties before, but it's like it's a whole thing. It takes a lot of effort. I don't really do it anymore.
I used to do I did a lot of cosplay. When I used to go to Comic-Con, I would dress up as a. One year, I put on like extra pounds and muscle and stuff to dress as Luke Cage before the show came out, and then I did a Batman Joker goon and a Splicer from BioShock.
I mean, if you have like abs, like it's a great reason to show them off is to like dress up. Like go ahead. Like I understand that you have something there. Like why not?
You know what cosplay?
Like if you're gonna work that hard to have like a body, like go. Listen, I'm not gonna judge you for showing it off, but like. It's just I'm not gonna judge anyone who does it. It's not something
oh wait,
that I'm interested in doing.
the lewd models that cosplay as the sexy anime girls, that's okay?
I mean, people can do whatever they want. I'm not gonna do it, but
So would you show it off if you had a sexy anime girl body?
No.
No.
I
So you
have,
wouldn't
I have
cosplay-
had like a really small like running body before. I like did a little bit for Halloween, and that's about it. Just like even then, it was like silly stuff. I always went silly, as you can imagine. Even if it was like skimpy, it was still silly. Like
Okay.
I did like a sexy Bowser once.
Sexy Bowser? Why you
I
did
did
this?
a sexy fucking what was the other one I did? Oh, Spider-Man, but it was Spider-Woman. I had silly string.
You're spraying like I'm Spider-Woman.
But I had like a just like a black sports bra and like a red shorts that were like Spider-Man.
That's not even Spider. What the hell was you just?
And then I
what?
had gloves. I had red gloves, and then I had a Spider-Man hat, like a ball cap that had Spider-Man on it. And then I had
I
silly
don't
string.
even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. That's just
It was
like
just me dressing like Spider-Man, but like in running clothes.
what the hell? Okay, I wouldn't. I guess that's cosplay. I also cosplayed
that's just
Lewis
like
from
a
Left 4 Dead
costume.
too.
Yeah, it's just like a costume. I don't really do cosplay. Like the only time I do cosplay is for like
Events, the events you do here.
yeah. Just because I'm like playing the game and I can dress like the character. It's just weird and fun and it makes it like a whole event. But I also don't just do a lot of things just for fun. You know, if I'm going to do just for fun, even then I want it to be like something where there's layers. So I'm not going to like go through the effort of like dressing up to go to a conference. I like if I'm going to a conference, there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? Like I'd be going with like a business mindset. I don't know. I'm weird.
I think you should cosplay at one of the cons one day.
Well, I just
We'll
don't think
cosplay-
that's fun.
we'll
I don't
cosplay
feel
as
like
each
I would
other.
get anything out of that.
You would, because at cons when you cosplay, people recognize you, like,
But like,
remember
what would I
that.
get out of
And
that?
well, it will get you like people strike up conversations with you. It helps people makes you more approachable by people. They want to talk to you and stuff. And it puts something in their head that they remember you. Like when I go to cons, people remember me for the stickers I give them, because my stickers are very
Yeah, your stickers are cool, and so like
yeah.
that to me in my brain that makes more sense than like going through the effort of like getting dressed up. I think like I don't ever want to be like, as much as I like, obviously nobody who's on the internet like to this degree doesn't want attention. Like that would be silly to say. But like I don't want the focus to be on like my looks as a person generally. Even if it's me like showing off a different character. Like I want my value to generally be from my brain or like making people laugh or inspiring people. Like I want that to be something that's like I've like done something emotionally for someone, not like that. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, I guess.
I get you.
Yeah.
But you know, with games continuing and cosplaying and everything, the GOAT himself, Hideo Kojima, has an idea for a game. He thinks of this should be a game where the main character gradually forgets important information and abilities if you take too long of a break from playing. And when you hear that, it's like, that's dumb. But when you think about it, like, that would be pretty dope.
I think it'd be really cool. I said
Because
if
if you
marathons games because everybody else would have to compete with me and I'd win.
Because if you think about it, like, isn't games like Animal Crossing, it goes based off like real world seasons and stuff?
So there was something like that in Animal Crossing, not to the degree that he's clearly saying, but like back in the old Animal Crossings, they would be like mean to you and they would move when you like disappeared for a while. Like here, they'll still question and be like, "Wow, I haven't seen you in a while." But before it was like,
yeah,
literally get out of our town. Like you don't even live here anymore. Like what are you even doing? Like your best friend moved because you literally haven't seen them in a year. Like what's wrong with you? Like they'd be so mean.
yeah. Also, I remember Pokemon Gold and Silver, or maybe it was Crystal. They had it set that like it would match the real time. It would link up with real time. So when it was day in the game. When it was night and real world, it was night in the game. So it's like you had to wait to the night in real
that's
real life.
Crossing too. It has like the day night cycle. Every hour has a different song and different things kind of appear throughout the day, like different activities.
Yeah. So I think that would be good. And also Metal Gear Solid 3 had this thing to beat one of the bosses called the End. So in Metal Gear Solid 3, there was a boss called the End, and he was this old man, and he was a sniper. So the whole fight was like a sniper battle. So you're waiting it out. And in the PlayStation 3, was it 2 or 3? I forgot when Metal Gear 3 came out for. I think 2. If you went into the settings, right, and then change the year in the PlayStation settings to like 4 years.
Yeah.
When you load it back up the game, he'll be dead.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Cause he's an old man, so he died of age.
That's super cool.
And guess who made Metal Gear Solid 3? Hideo Kojima.
That's awesome. Animal
So
Crossing has like its purists that will never jump in time because like there's certain things that you can only get like you can get certain things only like a couple times a week, or you can only sell things on certain days, or so
yeah,
people like do a lot of time jumps. They'll try to get like seasonal bugs and stuff. Like there's just a bunch of different stuff you can do based on time. And so there's purists who won't ever change the time, and they'll only try to get collect everything throughout like the seasons. And when I was doing my flowers, I'm trying to remember if time traveling I think it would affect them because you're supposed to water them every day. So I was playing it like every single day. Now, of course, you could like, jump the time, but it's a whole, yeah.
yeah. So how dope would that be as like an action adventure game
That would
where
be
like
amazing. You could do a lot of
you
stuff
took
with
like
that.
a week off for like because you have things to do and you
And it would get
reloaded
everybody
it.
playing it at the same time for sure, because everybody would
Exactly.
want to play it nonstop to finish it, and so it'd be like an even bigger thing, which would be cool.
Yeah, you reload and like the characters like he just lost some abilities.
Yeah, it would make
Or,
it
like-
more of a moment in time because everybody would want to play it nonstop.
Yeah, or he will go. It's like you ever play like Shenmue? There's a old game called Shenmue, and it's like you have to go to work and everything. You have to show up on time to work and work for a certain amount of hours and everything. And so this games that's done it, but like with the time aspect.
Yeah.
But to forget abilities and everything, and like just forget the main quest line, that'd be good. Like so, I can imagine just going back 2 days later. The character's like, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. I don't remember my quest line, and the quest line has been removed from
That
your
would be
stuff.
really cool.
So then you gotta go, what the fuck was my quest line? Oh god dang it, I gotta beep that out.
We need
But
more games that make us like remember stuff too. Like I remember the first Nancy Drew game, like the original version of it. You actually had to write stuff down. Like I had a little notebook beside me. It was cool.
what the Souls games make you remember things, because the thing about Souls games, like you'll be walking, you'll talk to a character, and they'll be like, oh, such and such and blah blah blah. And then you'll be playing and you run into another character and they're like, I have such and such, blah blah blah. But I need blah. I'll give it to you if you do this. And you go kill it and he'll give you that thing. And you're like, somebody's supposed to get this. I don't remember who. Anyway.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of times in like all the Souls games, you meet characters in certain areas, but the thing is like they'll give you like a quest line and you're not even aware of it, or you'll probably bypass them and skip a whole quest line and stuff.
Yeah,
So
Assassin's Creed has started going that direction in Shadows, to be honest. There's like a little bit of that, like where if you aren't listening well, you're gonna have trouble figuring out where you're supposed to go.
yeah, and then Elden Ring, there's no linear path, and not Elden Ring, but any Souls games, there's no linear path. There's like none.
Yeah.
Like you could just run around and get lost for hours until you figure it out.
At least with
And you have to
Bloodborne, I know
remember
for
what
sure I
people
was
said.
like struggling, and that wasn't
Yeah,
even like
because
that.
Because Bloodborne, you get to like a door and the guy's like, I'm not gonna let you in until you do something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you need me to do? Then you go fight some hidden boss,
Yeah.
and then your door's open, and the guy's not even there. And he's like, he's dead. Who the hell was talking? So, I think that'd be good, and I can see him doing that because Death Stranding is the first Strand type game he's made, and when it means
that's
Strand,
like the next big one on my list. Actually, is Death Stranding. I think I'm gonna play it as soon as I get everything else that I'm doing figured out. I'm gonna be playing that soon.
Death Stranding has a great story, weird at a certain point, but it's a good story, and it really gets you like to feel like bad for like a lot of the characters, because when you meet some of these characters, they're kind of like, what's going on with them, why this way and everything. Like some of the characters, like he's a real jerk off.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, I see now why this person is the way they are, and everybody's struggling. And every Hideo Kojima game, the characters all have this weird struggle that they're fighting and dealing with, that you either sympathize with them or you go like, okay, then I see why I can't like this person. Even the characters you like, there's a twist like, okay, this guy is just really, he or she is just really just, no, I don't like this person anymore.
Interesting.
So I'm excited for you to play Death Stranding.
Yeah.
When you gonna start playing that game?
It depends. Probably sometime next month. I would love to get the whole thing just marathon before the sequel, so I've got to figure some things out first.
Yeah, it's on not Game Pass, PlayStation PSN. I think the director's cut is on there too.
Right now, so yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a PSN Plus, the director's cut is there. So
Yep.
It's slow start, but then once it gets rolling,
That's what I've heard. So we'll
yeah.
see.
But it's a cozy game, you walk.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of slow, so I'm gonna have to force my way through that. But
Yeah, listen, it's gonna start slow when you start doing your first couple of deliveries, but then you will see how much money, and then you're like, okay, I want to get this new stuff. You're gonna try to harder. You're gonna try to carry more things in the terrain, and you'll start running into the NPCs that attack you and stuff, and then the BTs and stuff. Then it gets stressful. Once you start getting the stress aspect, because I gotta carry a package, plus deal with BTs and all this stuff.
I don't know what
you
any
know,
of that means, but yeah, I mean, hopefully I can just push quickly through the slow stuff because that's not for me.
BTs means beach things, and you learn more about beach things when you play the game.
I like the beach.
Huh?
I like the beach.
You're not gonna like this beach. Not this beach.
If it keeps me away from boring, I will. I don't like being bored.
Is there any games that coming out like in this couple of months that you're like looking
Literally
forward to
just
playing?
the Death Stranding sequel. The Lost Records second part, because they released it in like half. So they did the first part and then the second part.
Lost Records.
Yeah.
Lost Records. What's that?
It's like a 90s decision making type of like narrative game. And the cool part of it is you do like video camera stuff. So you go around and it's like a bit artsy in that way. So you get to like create some of the world around you in that way by engaging with it the way it tells you to, but also getting to be really creative in that. So it's just cute. Just cute. Just girls in the 90s making like a movie and like finding like a kind of haunted almost area, and so there's like little mysteries, and they're like, yeah, it's just cool, like grown up. And oh, the coolest part of that actually is it jumps timelines, so you have them in the past, and then you have them like 30 years later, I think 20 or 30 years later. No, it's like a long time. They're like in their 40s maybe, and they're in like now time. So, and it's actually like COVID time, so it's like with there's like masks and stuff around. Nobody's wearing them, but they're there. And so anyway, they're like in a bar in the modern day. And so you're like, there's a mystery that they're flashing back and forth between, which is cool.
Okay, so it's like one of those like games, like those story-driven games, like
oh, it's like Life is Strange. Yeah, it's made by like the people who made the original Life is Strange.
Okay, all right.
So anyway, I'm gonna play.
I think you know the game I'm hyped up for, which I can't wait. Is Night Rain.
Oh right.
So
yeah, the second Elden Ring.
It's not a second Elden Ring. It's not a
I mean, it
second Elden Ring.
even if you don't think it's a sequel, it's technically a second Elden Ring.
It's not.
It technically is, because it's the second game with Elden Ring in the title. Just like you could say, like, you know, oh, that's the second Mario game, or that's the second Zelda game. It's the second Elden Ring game.
I can agree with you. It's the second game of Elden Ring, but it's not a sequel. It's not a direct sequel.
It's the second game in Elden Ring.
Yes, it's the second game within the Elden Ring within the Elden Ring world, but it's not a direct sequel.
So you're playing the second Elden Ring.
I'm gonna give you a second slap. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. You keep messing with me like this. You keep. Oh my God! Why does anybody?
There's almost nothing else that I'm really interested in.
Get me here.
When's
Everybody
that
wants to
other
get me
game?
here.
Is it going to be this year or next year? I
What game?
forget the name of it now, but it's the one where they're developing it so that you actually have to pay attention and observe everything around you, so that it's not like feeding you everything.
The Hell Is Us?
Yes, that one. Is that this year
Hell
or
Is
next
Us?
year?
Yes, Hell Is Us is September.
Okay, that one I'm looking forward to. And I think that's about it. It's just Hell Is Us, the one that I'm already going to play, Death Stranding sequel, which is good because I have a ton of backlog to do anyway. I was kind of like saving room for GTA just in case, and so I have a lot of backlog. I can make it through this year, depending on where the year takes me.
I mean, what we got coming out with, recently we had a game called Midnight Walk. That's like a little like puzzle game. It kind of feels like
Midnight. Somebody just recommended South of Midnight for ambience. You know what other two games I should probably play for ambience? Harry Potter just got free on the PlayStation Plus.
But that's a lot. That's a lot though. Harry Potter's a lot to do.
Yeah, but it's good for ambience. Those do really well. And then I hated Cyberpunk, but I might try to throw in again.
Jump back in.
Just for the ambience. But yeah, I didn't like it. I wish I could just get somebody else's save file.
You can have mine.
I can have your.
I'm lost somewhere.
Cool.
But right now what it looks like, we're reading off the stuff that we have coming out. So in May 30th we have Night Rain. June 5th we have the Mario Kart World. That is
Is it a new Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Really?
Mario
Are
Kart
they not
World.
still
Yeah.
upgrading the 8? Weren't they still adding maps to it
Well,
like last year?
because the Switch 2 drops in June, Mario
Oh,
Kart
is it really
8. I mean,
June? I thought it.
yeah, Mario Kart
I didn't realize it was that
World
soon.
is June 5th.
Wow.
June 26th, we have Death Stranding 2. Uh, June 26th, also you have Tamagotchi Plaza. That seems like a game you'll play. That's a Nintendo game.
I don't play
we got,
as much cozy as one would think, but yeah. You know what I'm actually thinking about doing instead of any new
What?
stuff, because I don't like these prices and everything anyway. I think I might
start
start getting
pirating?
No, challenge runs. I really liked my platinum runs of Last of Us, so I'm thinking, and I've always kind of wanted to try my hand at speedrunning because I love like really mastering a game. I love like mastering the details, and so there's a few on my radar, including obviously Last of Us, but I could do some stuff with Assassin's Creed or Uncharted because obviously I like the Naughty Dog style, but also like Animal Crossing Stardew is one like my brain keeps coming back to. So there's a few that, because I never even finished the Stardew story, but it'd be cool to do some stuff with that and just like really memorize like the mins and maxes for stuff and understanding like where you can run through and like just really learning more about how games are made by like going through that kind of stuff. So I might do more of that over the coming years. Just I don't really like game prices right now. I just think it's silly and I don't necessarily want to support it.
Exactly. That's I buy my Steam games now from a third-party website. They give it to me for cheaper. And I think there's another website that's PlayStation games also, and Xbox games a little cheaper. But,
yeah, pretty much I only play stuff if it's on PlayStation Plus, like the Lost Records one's on PlayStation Plus. I guess I'm gonna buy Death Stranding because I'm gonna play the first one. So there's like a few new ones I'll buy each year, but it's like I'm not doing more than 2 or 3 most of the time.
Yeah. Also, we got July 17th. July 11th, we got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 3 and 4. I guess this is like a remake of those games. We got Donkey Kong Bonanza, the new Donkey Kong, coming out July 17th. Shadow Labyrinth, never heard of that, July 18th. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater is the Metal Gear Solid remake. It's called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, August 28th. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, August 29th. Hell Is Us comes out September 4th. We got Borderlands 4 coming out September 23rd. Karen, I don't know what that is to be announced. And then we got a whole bunch of other games to be announced.
Oh,
Ghost
that
of
one
Yotai.
co-op looks cool too. The one that came out earlier in the year.
What?
With the ladies. And one's in fantasy and one's in
Split
sci-fi.
Faction?
Yeah, I want to try to play that at some point.
We should play that.
That could be cool.
We should play that. Let's
would
do
be
a co-op.
interesting,
Let's set that up.
That could be
Let's
cool.
set up a co-op stream because I think only one of us needs to have it.
That would be neat. That could be an idea.
Let's do a co-op stream. Since you don't like playing with people, you like to play alone.
I do like to play alone.
We can play that
co-ops
together.
Are fun. Yeah, that could be good.
You gonna be my partner in that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Does that mean it's something different?
That would be fun.
Because we're.
Can I be the sci-fi girl?
But wait, are we partners? Or are we partners?
We're not partners.
Okay, but we're partners.
No.
See how things go. See the word. See.
No, I don't, because we're not.
It all came back around, guys.
No, we're co-oping.
But you're my partner in the co-op game, right?
No, I'm gonna be against
What
you.
are you?
Your opponent.
You're gonna be against me, see? Because you know I'm right.
I'm gonna be your opponent.
All right, you got anything
ever
you
call
want?
people just like friends or like peers or?
No, my associates,
Everyone's
my
your
homies.
partner. Everyone you work with.
No,
your
I don't
partner?
call people my partner. You're so dumb.
You're dumb.
You're so dumb. You're dumb. You're silly. You're silly.
Unless I'm in the Wild West, like my partner probably means romantic or business. Partner.
Anyway, you got anything you want to close with, Mad?
No.
Okay, partner.
Except that
Let us
you're
know-
playing the second Elden Ring game soon.
Shut up. Okay, let us know in the comments below if you believe that Elden Ring Night Rain is a sequel, or just help us put to rest this whole sequel and send the same universe thing. Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with your 2 favorite sensical, uncensored gamers. Any final words, thoughts?
No,
Partner?
that was it. That was it. Just I'm excited for you to play the second Elden Ring.
I'm Delacroix.
I'm curious.
We're done with this. Get out. I'm done with you.